Of Oak Grove High School. It's time for area high school baseball action as the Sumrall Bobcats take on the Oak Grove Warriors. I'm Kelly Sander along with producer engineer Brody Courtney, and we're ready to get things underway tonight here in Oak Grove. The last game of the regular season for both of these teams. Let's take a look at the Sumrall batting order. Sumrall coming in with a record of 20-5 on the year. Barrett Brazil leading off and playing center field as he has most of the year. Landon Holloman batting second, playing shortstop. Walker Long, the catcher, batting third. He'll be followed by Connor Walker, the designated.
Leo Odom playing first base. Then Malik McNair batting seventh and playing left. And then rounding out the batting order for Sumrall, Tyson Hicks at second base and Hampton Baudouin in right field. And they are facing pitcher Gage Thompson, the righty for the Oak Grove Warriors, coached by Chris McCardle. The first pitch is in there for a strike. Oak Grove 15-8 on the year. Oak Grove getting ready for the playoffs next week against Northwest Rankin. Sumrall will play the Richland Rangers. Game one of that best-of-3 game series will be Tuesday night at Sumrall, and we'll have all the games for you here on the Sumrall Athletics YouTube channel. 1-1 the count to Brazil. Breaking ball in there for strike two. So again, for Sumrall, it's Brazil, Holloman, Long, Walker, Hawkins, Odom, McNair, Hicks, and Baudouin. We'll have the Oak Grove lineup for you when the Warriors come to bat in the bottom of the first inning. No wind to speak of here. They've got one little patio out in right field here at Oak Grove on another beautiful night for baseball. This field nestled in amongst the pines. Here's a tapped foul. So Brazil stays alive with a 2-2 count here in the top of the first inning against Gage Thompson. Oak Grove coached by Chris McCardle. 2014, hard to believe that was the last state championship for Oak Grove, was 9 years ago. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside 3-2 to Brazil. Brazil has been a walk machine as of late, racking up at least 2 base on balls the last 4 consecutive games. That's outside. He's got another one here tonight to lead it off. So Brazil on deck, and here comes Landon Holloman.
Next batter, shortstop, number 7, Landon Holloman.
Andy Davis calling the signals down at third. Coach Cooley down there at first. Coming in at third base for the potential bunt is A.J. Maddox for Oak Grove. Righty-righty the matchup here as they play him straight away. The first pitch is swung on, and one hopper to short. To second for one, on to first. Double play, a 6-4-3 double play by the Warriors. Racks up Holloman and Brazil. 2 away, bases empty. And here comes Walker Long.
Bobcats catcher, number 34, Walker Long.
Scheduled for 7 innings tonight. Again, the last chance for these schools to put on their finishing touches before the playoffs begin next week. Best 2 out of 3 game series for each of these teams against their respective opponents. First pitch wide of third there. On the mound for the Warriors tonight, we mentioned Gage Thompson, but for the Bobcats, it's Dr. Jack Miller. Here's the 0-1. Bounces up there, 1-1 now. Miller gets the start. And we'll set the Sumrall defense for you when the Bobcats go out their defensive half in the bottom of the first inning. That's low. 2-1 now to Walker Long, who's headed to Holmes Community College, where he will become a Bulldog as opposed to being a Bobcat. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, popped it up. Playable. I mean, a moonshot coming out here in foul territory, and the catch is made by the first baseman, Caleb Lewis, and the Bobcats' side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and as it turns out, no one left on base. So we go to the bottom of the first inning, and here's what the Oak Grove batting order looks like. Gage Thompson, the pitcher, will hit for himself and lead off. He'll be followed by the second baseman, Eli Wheat. Coy Clements, the catcher, will bat third. Maddox Miller, the DH, is in the 4-hole. He is hitting for the shortstop, Joseph Polk. Eric Booth bats fifth, playing left field. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Sawyer Spites. A.J. Maddox batting seventh. He's the third baseman for Coach Chris McCardle. And rounding out the batting order for Oak Grove is Caleb Lewis, the first baseman, and Dwight Temple, the right fielder. As always, our webcast tonight sponsored by the following businesses: High and Tight Gentlemen's Club, Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating, Winburn Lawn and Landscaping, the Spencer Nixon Alpha Insurance Agency, the architect firm of Landry, Lewis, and Germany, Kids Campus Learning Center, Watts Brothers Implements, American Graphics, Real South Hunting, and Diversified Forestry Management. Thanks to all of those businesses for their support. Defensively, for the Bobcats, Landon Hawkins at third, Landon Holloman at shortstop, Tyson Hicks at second. Odom is at first base. Then Malik McNair gets the start tonight in left field. Barrett Brazil, as he has been the Plymouth Rock in center field all year, he's there. And Hamp Baudouin in right field. Shirley Haddix is watching from her home tonight. Good to have Miss Shirley along. Also, Christy Martin among the first one to text in at 601-310-7077 as Jack Miller drops an off-speed pitch in there for strike one, and we're underway in the bottom of the first inning. Our text line is 601-310-7077, and you can join Miss Shirley Haddix and Christy Martin as they have checked in tonight. And they are Tessa Morales checking in from the 601. Glad to have Tessa along. Miller ahead in the count here, 0-2 to Gage Thompson. So pitcher against pitcher here. The Bobcats play Thompson to pull slightly. That pitch is off the mark. 1-2 now to Gage Thompson. He's followed by the second baseman, Eli Wheat. Oak Grove, one of the few fields that doesn't have the skinned baselines. It's been like that forever. It was an old superstition of Harry Breland, longtime coach at Oak Grove, that just didn't want those baselines to be cut out like that. Chris McCardle down there at third base. Jones County native. Coach Cooley, I think, is a Jones County native. Breaking ball, chopper to third. Hawkins has got it, sets his feet. Tough throw over to first base, but dug out by Odom, and there's one away. D and Junior are watching from Sumrall tonight. I think they checked in last ball game. Glad to have D and Junior along. A lot of you were waiting, we saw, to get on the webcast tonight, so we're glad that you're with us. And here's Eli Wheat. First pitch from Miller drops in there for a strike. Miller has been starting the Oak Grove hitters off with off-speed benders to get ahead in the count. Good first pitch focus as for the second hitter in a row. He's ahead in the count. That fastball missed low. 1-1. Miller getting some work as a starting pitcher. He's worked mostly in relief, but gets the start tonight here in Oak Grove, the third game of the week for Sumrall. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Coy Clements in the on-deck circle to our right. Oak Grove, a rich tradition of baseball. Here's the 2-1. Short on that one, 3-1. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no wind at all here at Oak Grove. That's ball four. So Miller puts Wheat on. With a 4-pitch walk.
For the Warriors, catcher, number 25, Coy Clements.
So here's Clements now. The Bobcats were victimized by a ground ball double play in the top half of the first. And there's a breaking ball strike again. So Miller consistently starting them off with breaking balls. Pat Russell is watching from home tonight from the 601. Pat saying, go Bobcats. Hope, Pat, you can help the Bobcats pull it out here tonight against Lamar County rival. Miss Anita Sumrall watching from Sand Mountain. I presume that is Alabama. Sand Mountain, Alabama. I do know that there's a Sand Mountain up by Fort Payne. Miller in the stretch now, the 0-1 pitch. Low, 1-1. The wind picks up just a little bit now. What little wisp there has been out toward left field. The 1-1 pitch from Dr. Jack. Swung on, grounded to short. Holloman's got it. Gobbles it up, throws the second to one, on to first. Double play. 6-4-3. Once Holloman starts that double play, he's money. So no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We've got one in the books here in Oak Grove tonight. No score between the Warriors and Bobcats. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Back in Oak Grove tonight for Sumrall, it'll be Walker, Hawkins, and Odom in the top of the second inning. The third season, or the one that really counts if you're a Sumrall fan, starts on Tuesday night at Larry Knight Field. The Richland Rangers will come to town in Game 1 of a best-of-3 game playoff series. Game 2 is scheduled for Friday night up in Richland. So here's Connor Walker to lead it off, the DH hitting in the 4-hole in the second inning against the righty Gage Thompson. Thompson swing and a miss, and the fastball, Walker tried to jump on that one. Raymond and Truvy McCraney are watching from poolside. Well, so if that ain't grilling and chilling, I don't know what is. But somewhere on Lincoln Road, but Lincoln Road is a vast area. We don't know where the McGraneys are, but we do know that they're tuned into Bobcat baseball, and we're glad they are. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1 to Connor Walker. Top of the second inning. Here in the Grove, two Lamar County rivals. Boy, you talk about great baseball in this county. Here's the 2-1. That's high, 3-1. Lumberton has qualified for the playoffs in 1A. Purvis, of course, the number 2 team in this district. So all of the Lamar County Public Schools have made postseason play. That's high, ball 4. So Connor Walker leads off just like last inning with a walk.
Number 16, Landon Hawkins.
And here's Landon Hawkins now, whose dad, Jason, played at Oak Grove. And Landon wearing the number that his dad wore when his dad played here at Oak Grove. So the first pitch is swung on and fouled out of play to the right side. Hey, a reminder, fans, that if you're headed to the playoff games next week, that game admission for the playoffs is $7. $7 for the game admission. MHSAA rule ups that admission price for the playoffs. So a reminder, come prepared with $7 to get in the gate. 0-1 pitch is outside and low. 1-1 to Hawkins. Leo Odom is on deck. Sumrall batting in the top of the second. So the four teams that made it from this district, as that's fouled into the screen: Sumrall number 1, Purvis number 2, Columbia number 3, and Poplarville number 4. I think that's right. Connor Walker at first base with a leadoff walk. Hawkins battling here. Low, and that ball gets away from the catcher, and Walker hustles down to second base. So he's in scoring position. That takes the double play off of the table, but puts Walker in a non-force running situation at second base. A 2-2 count to Landon Hawkins. Working in and out, covering the runner at second. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Hawkins down on strikes, and there's one away. Here in the top of the second inning, and that'll bring up Leo Odom.
First baseman, number 4, Leo Odom.
So here is Odom. He's been on a tear as of late. That's a swing and a miss. One of you have texted in wanting to know who Purvis plays. I think Purvis drew Northeast Jones, if I'm not mistaken. The Northeast Jones Tigers for the first round of the playoffs. The 0-1 to Odom. Swung on, lifted to right field. Coming in to make the play. Second base goes out to make the play. A great effort by Eli Wheat to pull it in. That had double written all over it, but Odom goes back to the dugout.
Left fielder, Malik McNair.
So 2 away. And credit Wheat with an exemplary effort out there to make that grab. And here now is Malik McNair, the left fielder. McNair had been a little bit inconsistent at the plate during the year, but here as of late, seeing the ball much better. So Walker will be moving on any kind of contact now with 2 away, and McNair wants time at the plate. Southern Miss getting ready for a big weekend series at Coastal Carolina. A battle for first place in the Sun Belt. First pitch to McNair is there for a strike. Gage Thompson, the pitcher for Oak Grove, is ahead in the count to McNair, who's hitting 7th in the order. Should he reach, then Tyson Hicks would come to bat. Hicks had been DH'd for much of the early part of the year, but Tyson now in that lineup more often, getting to hit for himself. The 0-1. Low. 1-1 to McNair. Yeah, Lamar County for years has just had terrific baseball teams and generally pretty good football teams, but the 4 schools. Oh, McNair breaks the bat. A slow roller to third, throw to first is in time. Wow, that was wild. The bat breaks and the biggest part of the bat flies out toward third base. But McNair grounds out on the 5-3. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Oak Grove tonight. No score between the Bobcats and Warriors. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Jack Miller getting ready to face hitters 4, 5, and 6 for the Warriors. Maddox, Miller, Eric Booth, and Sawyer Spites. Maddox, Miller, who is their ace pitcher, but he's been having some shoulder issues, and they don't know how available he'll be at all, if at all, during the playoffs. First pitch is a foul ball outside the field down the left field line. Of course, Maddox's dad, Matt Miller, pitched for the Cleveland Indians and is still active in scouting local high schoolers for teams as part of the high school baseball report. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Miller. Miller to Miller. Daisy Mae Gaylord on the Kimball organ here at Oak Grove. Jack Miller to Maddox Miller. Just missed low and away, 2-2. Dr. Jack Miller, they like the way he operates. 2-2 the count to the leadoff hitter, Maddox Miller, here in the bottom of the second. Swung on, here's a chopper to first. Odom fields it and makes the play himself for the first out of the inning. Hard contact, but Odom equal to the task, and here's Eric Booth.
Next batter for the Warriors, left fielder, number 44, E.J. Booth.
Brazil shades him a little bit toward right. Again, wind, there really isn't any wind, so not going to favor either team necessarily. First pitch is outside to Booth. Base is empty, 1 away. That's inside, 2-0. Both teams have recorded 6-4-3 double plays to retire sides in this early contest. High 3-0 now to Booth. The 3-0 pitch. Breaking ball is high. 4 pitches and Booth is on base.
Center fielder, number 11, Sawyer Spites.
Here's Sawyer Spites now, hitting 6th in the order. The center fielder for Oak Grove. First pitch is a breaking ball away. Being a center fielder, you know that Spites has got to be able to move pretty well. So if the Bobcats get a ground ball, it's going to have to be hit pretty sharply in order to record the traditional double play. Runner going. Here's a high chopper to shortstop. Holloman cannot get that one on the short hop. He was breaking for the bag as the Warriors had Booth in motion. And that's ruled an error.
Next batter for Oak Grove, third baseman, number 9, A.J. Maddox.
So runners on first and second now for Oak Grove, and here's Maddox. A.J. Maddox, the third baseman. First pitch to him is a breaking ball. There's a little looper out to right field, a base hit. Baudouin throws to second. Play at the plate, not in time. The Warriors have grabbed a 1-0 lead, and here comes Andy Davis out of the dugout. Part of the reason he's coming out is looks like to scold Baudouin a little bit, telling Baudouin he should have thrown to the plate. So 1 run in. Maddox credited with an RBI. And the Warriors making some noise here in the bottom of the second inning. Yeah, I don't think the timeout was as much for Jack Miller as it was for Baudouin. Now, the advantage, the
Batting for Oak Grove, first baseman number 6, Caleb Lewis.
well, I shouldn't say advantage, but the good thing that came out of that is the runners held at first and second when Baudouin brought that in, where the throw to home probably would have advanced them to second and third. There's a strike to Lewis hitting eighth in the order. So runners at first and second, one out, but the Grovers have grabbed the lead. 0-1 pitch, misses 1-1. It's interesting because when Andy Davis called timeout, it's almost like he had ignored the pitcher and was shouting over Miller's shoulder at Baudouin. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, popped it up. Shallow center field. Landon Holloman going out. He puts it away for out number 2. So here's Dwight Temple.
Next batter for the Warriors, right fielder, number 13, DJ Temple.
Well, we got a DJ, an EJ, an AJ. I guess maybe tonight I'll be KJ, Sander. How about that? 2 away. Breaking ball swung on. Foul ball down the right field line. This will get out of play for a long, loud strike. Runners will be moving on contact now with 2 away. Should Temple reach, they go back to the top of the order with Gage Thompson, who grounded to third his first time up. Sumrall and Oak Grove. And I think this is the only time this year I think these teams have played. 0-1 pitch is low, ball 1. Normally they'll play 2 or 3 times, preseason or tournaments or things of that nature, but first time this year these teams have locked horns. Sumrall bullpen warming up. That one's fouled out of play. So runners on first and second. The Sumrall defense shaded way over to right. Count now 2-2 to the number 9 hitter, Dwight Temple. Spites at second. Maddox at first with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Low, 3-2. So now the merry-go-round will start. As soon as Miller commits to the plate, the runners will be off to the races. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, chopper to short. Holloman's got it, throws across his body, and he beat it out at first base. An infield hit for Temple has the bases loaded. Good hustle down the line by Dwight Temple.
Top of the order for Oak Grove, pitcher number 10, Gage Thompson.
And here's Gage Thompson, who can help his own cause here with the bases loaded and 2 away. Had the ball been hit a little more sharply, Holloman would have made that play, but it was hit just soft enough that gave the runner a little bit extra time to get down the line. Ball 1 to Thompson, his second at bat already in as many innings. So Spites now at third, Maddox at second, Temple at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled over to the Sumrall side. The Bobcats in the third base dugout. Warriors over here to our right. Assistant coach J.J. Lang outside the dugout, keeping the book there for the Warriors. The 1-1 pitch. There's strike 2. Fastball on the inner half. So 1 and 2 to the hitter, Gage Thompson. Miller ahead in the count, kicks and delivers. Breaking ball, tried a sweeping hit to the left side. McCardle got a hand on it, but now shaking that left hand, that might have stung just a little. Topspin didn't help any either. The 1-2 pitch from Miller. Just missed on the outer part of the plate. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, deuces wild here. 2-2-2. The pitch. Strike 3. Breaking ball, 12-6, drops down at the knees, and that leaves 3 men on for the Warriors. They came up with 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error, 3 men left on base. We've completed 2 here at Oak Grove tonight. It's 1-0 Warriors. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Tyson Hicks, Hampton Baudouin, and Barrett Brazil. 8, 9, and 1 for the Bobcats here in the top of the 3rd. Beautiful night in Oak Grove for baseball. Hard to believe that this is the first game that these 2 teams have played this year. Always providing great competition, which makes you better. The better teams you play, the better you have to play to get better. Hicks in the lineup as a left-handed stick, of course, going up against the righty Thompson.
Leading off the Bobcats in the top of the 3rd, second baseman, Tyson Hicks.
So the Bobcats will send up lefty, righty, lefty against the righty. Gage Thompson. Maddox on the prowl at third base, thinking that Hooks might try to push one down the line. But he takes called strike. Warriors pretty consistently all night have played Bobcat hitters straight away. Maybe slightly shaded the other way. That's low. 1 and 1. Again, Sumrall will begin the playoff trail next Tuesday at home against the Richland Rangers. The 1-1 pitch. High and away, 2 and 1. As opposed to the Ridgeland Titans that Sumrall played earlier this year. I always get Ridgeland and Richland mixed up. But it will be the Richland Rangers. That's at high school south of Jackson, right on Highway 49. That's fouled into the screen. Two and 2 to the Sumrall leadoff hitter here in the top of the 3rd. Bobcats trailing 1-0. Thompson's 2-2 delivery. Inside. That fills the count at 3 and 2. The payoff pitch. Check swing, and he did not go. So Hicks is on the 3rd straight inning. The Bobcats. So here's Baudouin. He has He hit a home run at Mize the other night that they're still looking for. For the third consecutive inning, the Bobcats have placed their first man on base, the first hitter on base, all by virtue of the walk. But they have not been able to plate any runs. So here's Baudouin. Now he wants time at the plate. Baudouin, a great-looking athlete, has struggled with off and on shoulder and arm issues. Nothing serious, but just enough to be nagging, right? Puts the bunt down right in front of the plate. Nice play. Only shot is to first, and that play is made. The sacrifice bunt is implemented, and Hicks moves to second base. Good team baseball there. And here's Brazil, the leadoff hitter. Sumrall batting in the top of the third. And Hicks not in a forced situation at second base. First pitch, check swing, but got a piece of it and fouled it away. Brazil hitting from the left side ideally would like to get something to the right side of the infield. That is to say, over to second or first and advance that runner to third. They're actually playing him to go the opposite way just a bit. The 0-1 pitch. Strike on the corner. Brazil now in an 0-2 hole. We've talked about Brazil has a great eye. By far the team leader in walks. And already has one walk here tonight. But the Bobcats, again, have not been able to get the timely hit. Gage Thompson, the right-hander, on the mound for Oak Grove. They will be taking on Northwest Rankin in the playoffs next week. That's low, 1-2, and that gets underneath the catcher Clemens. So he doesn't have to worry now about taking anything to the right side because Hicks is already at third. Now a sac fly would do the trick. Or, again, anything hit to the right side, although the first baseman, Lewis, is at the elbow at first for perhaps a throw at the plate. Now Brazil calls time and steps out. Glad that you're with us tonight. Beautiful, beautiful Thursday night. Not sure it could be much better for a high school baseball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Check swing. McCardle again thinking that the hitter went around. But no appeal even on that play. Karen Thompson is driving a car tonight, but also listening. Yeah, please don't watch, Karen, while you're driving your car. That could be problematic, and your insurance company wouldn't like that too much. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball just missed. So the count fills now at 3-2 to Barrett Brazil, with Landon Holloman, the talented shortstop, on deck. The tying run for the Rawlers at third base. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, there's a base hit. Up the hole. Hicks is in on the base hit. Brazil delivers a one-out single. And this game is tied.
Shortstop number 7, Landon Holloman.
So here's Holloman. Brazil at first base, the soccer star that's headed to Pearl River, he can fly at first base. So we'll see if Andy Davis tries to get him over via the steal. First pitch here is inside to Holloman. Glenda Cody and Emily Thompson are also on the road listening to the Bobcats tonight. Glad to have them along. Might be a girl. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike on the corner. So Holloman will have to get busy now with a 1-1 count. The Warriors tallied their run in the bottom of the second. The Rawcats have tied it up here in the top of the third. Holloman against Thompson. Thompson checks the runner at first. To the plate. Swung on, slapped to third. Backhanded and into left field. It was sharply hit. Brazil thought about going to third, but then pulled the parachute late. It was a crisply hit ball. That has to be ruled a hit, I would think.
Now batting for Sumrall, catcher, number 34, Walker Long.
Larry and Jackie Smith are watching in Hickory Grove tonight. Isn't that what the place the Doobie Brothers sang about? Hickory Grove? Oh, no, it was China Grove. So runners at first and second. Holloman is credited with a hit. Man, he stung that ball. And A.J. Maddox was lucky to get a glove on it, or that might have been 2 bases. Our boss, Anita Sumrall's birthday is today, celebrating an anniversary of her 29th birthday. We don't know what anniversary of her 29th birthday it is, but happy birthday to the boss. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped it up. Back here behind home plate, and there will not be a play. It's in the stands for a strike. So 1 run in for Sumrall. Runners on first and second with 1 out, and they're working in the meat of the order now. Walker Long is up there with Connor Walker on deck. The Warriors have already chalked up a 6-4-3 double play. They're looking for another ground ball right at one of them. That's what Sumrall will try to avoid. The 1-1 pitch. Low. And here comes Chris McCardle. Walker Long's dad, Casey Long, was quite a player at Mississippi State. So you've got some genealogy there. Richard and Karen Thompson are celebrating 27 years of marriage. A lot more difficult for Karen to endure, I would imagine, than Richard. But happy anniversary nonetheless. McCardle talking it over with his troops. The last state championship that Oak Grove won was in 2014 against a DeSoto Central team that had a guy named Austin Riley at third base. You've heard of Austin Riley. He's been in all the papers. Making a pretty good living for himself with the Atlanta Braves now. So Long back to work. Ahead in the count, 2-1. Runners are in a forced situation. They'll have to move on anything hit on the ground. The pitch to Long. Breaking ball, low, 3-1. And McCardle's had about all he's going to take, it looks like, over here to the right. He has not been happy with the strike zone. This is a fastball count right here on 3-1. And Walker Long will be sitting dead red fastball here. The 3-1 pitch. There it is, but couldn't barrel it up. The count fills now at 3-2. With 1 away in a tie ball game, we'll see if Andy Davis starts the runners here. Obviously, with 2 outs, they would be on the move, but when there's 1 out, it's dealer's choice. So we'll see what Davis decides to do. Not going. Breaking ball, swung on, a drive to right center field. Being measured in center, catch is made. Here comes the throw to third. Good throw, but just slightly off the mark. And that gets Brazil to third. Again, the soccer all-star flies. So he's at third.
Designated hitter, Connor Walker.
And here's Connor Walker now with 2 away. Holloman holds his position at second base, but don't be surprised that he might be headed to second via the steal. Righty versus lefty, the matchup. And Connor Walker, an 8-cylinder model here. Big, strong guy that can do some yard work. Walker, ironically, walked his first time up. And wouldn't he, with a name like Walker? First pitch to him. High and away, ball 1. Sumrall batting in the top of the third here. In Oak Grove. This field nestled in amongst those pines. Very scenic here at Oak Grove. There goes the runner, and they will not throw. They'll concede second base, so Holloman is there. And with Holloman's speed and with 2 outs, a base hit would plate 2 runs. The 1-1 pitch coming up to Connor Walker. Breaking ball away. 2-1. Should Walker reach, then Landon Hawkins would come back up. Hawkins, the winning pitcher in Tuesday night's game up at Mize, playing third tonight for the Cats. 2-1 pitch, high again. 3-1. The inning started with a Tyson Hicks walk. He was advanced to second on the bunt by Baudouin. Brazil singled, Holloman singled to get that run home. Swung on, shot to first base, and under the glove of the first baseman. This will score 2. That's an E3 all the way. 2 runs are in for Sumrall, and an error for Oak Grove has been the nemesis all year long for the Warriors. They have just not, like they have been used to doing over the years, they just have not taken very good care of the baseball.
Next batter, third baseman, Landon Hawkins.
E3 that scores 2 runs. Ouch. So here's Hawkins now. There's a strike on the corner. Thompson coming right after him with the fastball there. The 0-1 pitch to Hawkins. Breaking ball. Could not hold back on the swing there. He's in an 0-2 hole now. Runner on first. 2 away. Boy, you have to feel sorry for Gage Thompson there. He got the ground ball, exactly what he wanted. And now he has to throw extra pitches. 0-2. Hawkins called strike 3 on the breaking ball, and that'll do it. But Sumrall got 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and a man left on base. So we go to the bottom of the third inning here at Oak Grove tonight. It's Sumrall 3, Oak Grove 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Kelly Sander along with Brody Courtney in Oak Grove tonight, where the Bobcats have taken the lead with 3 in the top of the third. Dr. Jack Miller back to work, and he will face Eli Wheat, Coy Clements, and Maddox Miller. Hitters 2, 3, and 4. Wheat walked his last time up, so this may officially be his first at bat. First pitch from Miller is a breaking ball strike. Miller has been in command of the bender tonight, which it's normally the fastball sets up the breaking ball, but his breaking ball has been excellent tonight, which sets up the fastball right there. He's ahead in the count now, 0-2. Miller looks fluid and relaxed on the hill. 0-2 the count to Wheat. Miller tugs at the bill of the cap and is ready to get back to work. The 0-2 pitch. He got him on strikes. Foul tip, but into the glove of Walker Long.
Now batting for Oak Grove, catcher number 25, Coy Clements.
Second strikeout of the night for Dr. Jack, but the second out in a row via the K. And here's Coy Clements now. Breaking ball, strike. And again, Miller has been so first pitch focused tonight and getting that first pitch strike, and it's so important. Because where the pitcher could then make 4 mistakes for the walk, the hitter can only make 2 for the strikeout. The 1-1 count. There's a strike. 1-2 now the count to the Oak Grove catcher batting third in the order. Outside 2-2. Chris McCardle added Shane Kelly as an assistant. Shane Kelly used to be the head coach at Petal. And on the staff where he doesn't have to, he can focus on just teaching the kids and working fundamentals rather than the administrative part of being a head coach. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Clements with Maddox Miller on deck. Bases empty, 1 away here in the bottom of the third. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, grounded to short. Holloman to his right. Gets back up, throws. What a play by Landon Holloman. Almost went to his rear end to make that stop and comes up throwing.
Next batter for the Warriors, designated hitter, Maddox Miller.
And here's Maddox Miller now. This Miller versus Miller 2.0. The first time up, Miller grounded to the first baseman, Odom. First pitch to him is swung on, a drive to left field, but playable. Malik McNair over to his right, makes the catch, and the Warriors go quietly in order in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We've completed 3 here in Oak Grove. It's the Bobcats 3, the Warriors 1 on the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Odom, McNair, and Hicks in the top of the fourth to face Gage Thompson. Clements slings that ball down to second base, and we're ready to get underway. Let's see what Odom's been up to. He popped out to the second baseman, Eli Wheat, in his only other at bat. And credit Wheat. That play that Wheat made to keep Odom off the bases really saved 2 bases for the Warriors. It was that good of a play because he was having to retreat down the right field line. Dwight Temple was making an effort to get to the ball, but it was Wheat that made the play. Breaking ball, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Leo Odom, the leadoff batter for Sumrall here in the 4th. Swing and a miss. Down he goes on 3 pitches. But there you see, as we talked about before, the importance of the first pitch strike. Thompson got ahead of the count, and then Odom had to work from behind. And you just don't have as many arrows in your quiver when you're working from behind. Here's McNair. Swung on, a little looper into left field. That's a base hit. So McNair, who grounded to third his first time up, is on base with a 1-out knock. And here's Tyson Hicks, who walked and scored the first of 3 Sumrall runs, his last at bat. That missed up just a bit. Hicks hitting 8th in the order. And has done a good job batting for himself. Again, most of the DH spots were hitting for him. That's low, 2-0 now. So he's got a 2-0 count where he can be looking fastball. McNair with ridiculous speed at first base. So you could expect him to be off to the races at any time. There's a strike. And Hicks may have been on the take there. Let's see how Andy Davis plays it with McNair. The problem you have with not taking the bat out of Hicks's hands is if you put McNair in motion and Hicks lines the ball to one of the defenders, then you're looking at a double play to end the inning. There's strike 2. So Hicks has got to use the stick. Hampton Beaudoin on deck. Two balls and 2 strikes now. Time is called. Thompson will have to get things going again back on the mound. Pleasant night, very little wind, if at all, here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, a late decision by Hicks. That was not one of his better efforts. 4 strikeouts tonight for Thompson. And here's Beaudoin. He put down the sac bunt as we talked about, so officially this may be his first at bat. Swung on, drive down the right field line, but this is twisting foul. And McNair will have to retreat. Beaudoin also has a rocket of an arm in right field. He pitches some. I think when really, if you crunch the numbers on the Sumrall pitching staff, they probably have about 10 guys that could pitch competitively. Now time is called at the plate again. See if McNair might be off. There he goes. Throw to first base, throw to second, and it's not in time. That is how fast McNair is. They knew he was going, and he still stole second base. So he's there in scoring position with 2 away. Sumrall scored its 3 runs last inning and now has a man in scoring position with 2 away here in the 4th. So Baudouin against Thompson. The pitch. Low. Should Baudouin reach, then Garrett Brazil would come back up, and Brazil singled his last time up with an RBI. Sumrall trying to extend a 3-1 lead over the Grovers. The pitch. Swing, and it gets by the catcher, and again Malik McNair heads down to third base. So he's there with 2 outs, but Baudouin has 2 strikes on him. One ball and 2 strikes to the Sumrall right fielder, Hampton Baudouin. Playing him straight away. Thompson kind of at a angle on the pitching rubber. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fought off, and shot wide of first base. Gage Thompson and Dr. Jack Miller, the 2 starters at pitcher for both of these teams, still at it, and why not? It's still relatively early and just a 3-1 game. The Bobcats have another run just 90 feet away. The 1-2 pitch. Low. That was blocked up by Clements. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A 2-run lead for the Cats. Thompson peers in to get the signal. And now time is called. Thompson has been working he's been working pretty deliberately. Hitters ready. Baudouin waiting for the 2-2 offering. Here it comes. Swung on. There's a drive down the gap in right center. It drops. It's a base hit, though. Baudouin with a 2-out single. Plates McNair, and it's 4-1 Sumrall. And back to the top of the order, and Barrett Brazil. Chris McCardle has called timeout. That angle was a little bit deceptive to me. I thought that ball was hit a little further than it was, but the result is a Sumrall run. Well, I know he's kind of been bothered by injuries here and there, talking about Baudouin, but I think a school would really be getting a steal by picking him up and developing him further. I think he could be terrific. So he's headed to first. And Brazil, who's officially 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored, comes to bat for the 3rd time. And we're in the 4th inning. Warriors have some arms heading to the bullpen. First pitch, shot right at second base, caught on the line. Brazil stung it, but Wheat is able to put it away. So 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Oak Grove. It's the Bobcats 4, the Warriors 1. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Miller comes out for another inning for Sumrall, and his teammates got him another run. 4-1 Bobcats. Carson Moon was loosening a little bit earlier in the Sumrall bullpen, and Jackson Hayden in the Oak Grove bullpen.
Looking out for the Warriors in the bottom of the fourth inning.
It'll be Eric Booth leading it off here in the fourth inning, the left fielder who walked and scored the only Oak Grove run. That was back in the second inning. First pitch from Miller is inside, ball one. Brazil pretty much straight up in center field. Off-speed pitches floats in there for strike one. Miller has had great command of the bender, which has helped the fastball, and that was last one was a straight change. That goes inside. It's now a 2-1 count, and Chris McCardle will get over to third base. Chris McCardle's never been in any big hurry. And he's been consistent in that over the years. He's a laid-back kind of guy. 2-1 pitch. Here's a high pop-up. Tyson Hicks waiting for it, and he handles it for out number one. But to show you how high that one was, how high that ball was, he was nearly at second base before it got into the glove of Hicks. Here's Spites now. There's a strike on the corner. Spites hit that chopper towards short that Landon Holloman got to but couldn't handle. We thought it was originally ruled an error, but now they've changed that. Holloman again handles it. Throw to first in time. Can Landon Holloman play shortstop or what?
Third baseman number 9, A.J. Maddox.
And here's Maddox now. He's got a single and an RBI to his credit. Base is empty, 2 away here in the fourth. First pitch to him by Miller is swung on and popped up. Again, shallow center field. Brazil comes in to take charge. He has it. And the Warriors, for the second consecutive inning, go up and down 1-2-3. We've completed 4 here in Oak Grove. The Bobcats 4, the Warriors 1, back after this timeout. Gage Thompson to face Holloman, Long, and Walker as we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Sumrall Bobcats on the World Wide Web, sponsored by Diversified Forestry Management. Real South Hunting, American Graphics, special thanks to Stan Wellborn. Watts Brothers Implements, Kids Campus Learning Center, the architect firm of Landry Lewis in Germany, the Spencer Nixon Alpha Insurance Agency, Windburn Lawn and Landscaping, Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating. First pitch to Holloman is a shot down the left field. It is foul. He'll have to come back and reload. A long, loud strike. High and Tight Gentlemen's Club, our other sponsor, where the guys like to get their hair cut. Again, these businesses put their money where their mouth is to make these webcasts possible. If we find yourselves in the need for these goods and services, we hope that you will use them and let them know that you appreciate them sponsoring Oak Grove and Sumrall Baseball game tonight. The Sumrall Bobcats all season long here on the Bobcat YouTube channel. The 0-1 pitch. Away, 1-1. Holloman has grounded into a 6-4-3. He has singled and scored. And the one that he hit was a rocket down third base line. Outside, 2-1. And Jackson Hayden warming up in the Oak Grove bullpen. The 2-1 pitch to Holloman. High, 3-1 now. Bobcats have been very effective getting their leadoff man on base. In 3 of the first 4 innings, the leadoff man has reached. Swung on, there's a drive to left field. And it's off of the glove. Off the glove of Booth. Booth finally gets the throw in, and Holloman gets to third base. And that'll be ruled an error. Boy, oh boy,
Catcher number 34, Walker Long.
a 3-base error. And here's Walker Long. Sumrall with a 4-1 lead, looking to extend it again. Long has popped to the first baseman and flown to center, but another long fly ball to center field here would be a sacrifice fly and put another run across for the Rawlers. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. Walker Long wasn't wasting any time. He went right after it. Glad that you're with us on a Thursday night. This game originally scheduled for tomorrow, but you've seen the Weather Channel, all that rain's supposed to be coming in tomorrow morning. Talked to my sister this morning up in northern Minnesota. They're expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow in northern Minnesota. Snow! And we're almost in May. Luckily, that's just rain in our neck of the woods. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball high, 2-1 to Walker Long. Holloman hit it hard again. And it looked like Booth was there to get it. And ricocheted off the top of his glove. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field. Playable, but deep. This should be enough to score the sacrifice fly. It is caught. The Warriors won't even worry about the throw. Catch made by Spites in center field. But it's a sacrifice fly and an RBI.
Next batter number 45, Connor Walker.
For Walker Long. So 1 out, base is empty, and here's Connor Walker now. So Sumrall has scored 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 more here in the fifth. Long has walked and reached on an error. From those who have followed the Oak Grove program this year, it's been the Warriors, and we mentioned it once in the webcast, that the Warriors just have not taken real good care of the baseball defensively this year. 1-1 the count. That's low. 2-1 now to Connor Walker with Landon Hawkins on deck. Hawkins looking for his first hit of the night. The 2-1 pitch is outside, 3-1. Gage Thompson getting some encouraging words from the third baseman, A.J. Maddox. And here is the 3-1 pitch. There's a strike. Full count pitch coming up to Connor Walker, the cleanup hitter for Andy Davis. Andy Davis of Smith County, Coach Cooley from Jones County, Coach McCardle from Jones County. There's a strike on the outside corner. Walker down on strikes. 2 away now, bases empty, and here's Hawkins.
Third baseman Landon Hawkins.
Fifth strikeout of the night for Thompson, and he starts Hawkins off with a breaking ball strike. Second one is fought off to the right side and out of play. We'll get over to the parking lot to our right. You know that tornado that came through here in 2012 or 13, something like that, and practically wiped this place out. There's the 0-2 to Hawkins. That's low. 1-2. In fact, I remember when that tornado came through, Taylor Braley, who was playing here, of course went on to play for Southern Miss and then a brief professional career. It totally turned over his big pickup truck that he had just bought. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Hawkins down on strikes. And the Bobcats go down. 1 run on no hits. There was an error and nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Oak Grove tonight. It's the Bobcats 5, the Warriors 1. Jack Miller back to the mound for another inning of work, and we'll have it for you when we return after this timeout. So we go back to the bottom of the 5th inning now for Oak Grove. Caleb Lewis, Dwight Temple, and Gage Thompson. 8, 9, and 1 to face Jack Miller. Again, Carson Moon was throwing a little bit earlier on tonight. But Miller has had a good night. From the first pitch tonight, he has looked relaxed, comfortable, and in command. Breaking ball or off-speed pitch inside there. Lewis popped out to shortstop his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Temple is on deck. He has a single. That's outside, 2-0 now. Where the Bobcats have been really good about getting their leadoff man on, the Warriors haven't yet, but they're now 1 pitch away as it's 3-0 to Lewis for getting on. the 3-1 effort. Ball 4. And there you go. Warriors leadoff man at first base, and here's Dwight Temple now.
Now batting for the Warriors, right fielder number 13, DJ Temple.
And Andy Davis comes out to the hill now as Temple is introduced.
Bench running for the Warriors, number 23, JT Easterling.
McCardle coming over to Coach J.J. Lang to talk some things over as Andy Davis is getting things worked out with his infield and catcher. Bobcats have turned a double play tonight. They've turned at least one double play in each of the last 4 games. Temple would not be an easy guy to double up. Of course, it all is predicated on how hard a ground ball would be hit, right? Hawkins is at third, Holloman at short, Hicks at second, and Odom holding the runner at first. Malik McNair in left, Barrett Brazil in center, and Hampton Baudouin in right field. So the home plate umpire has all of his bookkeeping up to date. And here's Temple with a man on. Sumrall against Richland. That's Richland. The Rangers in first game of the playoffs next Tuesday night at Sumrall. A reminder that ticket prices for the playoffs, $7. Best of 3 game series begins Tuesday at Sumrall. There's a strike. This is just the first hint of Miller laboring at all tonight. Had thrown 5 consecutive pitches out of the zone. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. There's a shot down the right field line. That ball is fair. Inside the land, rounding second, headed to third is Lewis. Lewis will hold up at third base. A double into the corner for Temple, and the Warriors have something cooking here in the bottom of the 5th.
Top of the order for Oak Grove, pitcher Gage Thompson.
So runners on second and third and nobody out, and here's Gage Thompson. He has grounded to third and struck out looking. But this is the 3rd time he will have seen Miller. First pitch. Carson Moon now throwing again in the Sumrall bullpen. The 1-0 pitch. That gets away from Walker Long. 1 run is in. It's a 5-2 baseball game. And Temple advances to third. And Andy Davis comes out again. And a pitching change is in the offing. It'll be Carson Moon coming to the aid of his teammate Jack Miller. Pitching change for the Bobcats. We'll have it for you when we return after this timeout. Carson Moon comes on for Sumrall. And he will inherit a count to Thompson. With Temple at third base, and there's nobody out here. Sumrall with a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Moon just, again, one of a bevy of pitchers that the Bobcats have at their disposal. And the count is 2-0 to the hitter. First pitch swing and a miss as Moon blows it past Thompson. The 2-1 pitch, another fastball high. But you've got Moon, Miller, Hawkins, Odom, Davis, McGrew, Malden. I mean, the list of pitchers just goes on and on. There's a walk. So runners at the corners.
Next batter for Oak Grove, second baseman, number 26, Eli Wheat.
And
Courtesy runner number 15, Melendez Laylock.
here's Wheat. He has walked and struck out, so it's been a tale of two cities here. Walker Long will go out and flash the signals as to how the Warriors will play it defensively. Bo Dwack can also pitch, and it's fouled into the screen. So I mean, it's just amazing the number of arms the Bobcats have, and really it's been that way for a number of years. Throw to first and the runner back in time. Bobcats trying to stop the bleeding here. The Warriors, who had flatlined for a couple of innings, have picked up a pulse here. In the bottom of the fifth, the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt outside. 1-1 now. Purvis has defeated South Jones tonight, 4-1 in non-district play. South Jones in the playoffs. The 1-1 pitch. Low again. 2-1. So Moon, with a blistering fastball, just has not been able to find the dish. Any consistency yet. Throw again to first base. And this is the top of the Oak Grove order, so the Bobcats need to be careful with some of these Warrior sticks. The 2-1, that's there. Fastball on the inner half makes it a 2-2 count now. A walk to Caleb Lewis, then a double by Temple has given the Warriors another run, and then another walk to Thompson, and it's 3-2 on Wheat. Still nobody out. 3-2 pitch, runner going, and that's fouled into the screen. So Chris McCardle rolling the dice there a little bit by putting the runner in motion with no outs, because again, if the hitter then lines it to somebody, it's an easy double play. Which, if you're ahead and can spare the runs, that wouldn't be as much of a gamble. We'll see if he puts Temple in motion again. The 3-2 pitch. And Moon did that move on purpose to see if the runner would show his hand, or in this case, his feet, over there at first base. The 3-2 pitch, runner not going, and popped up behind home plate. Coy Clements, the Oak Grove catcher, on deck here as the Warriors bat in the bottom of the fifth inning. They've already answered Sumrall's run in the top of the fifth, looking for more. 3-2 pitch. This one again popped up. Regardless of what happens to Wheat ultimately, this has been a good at bat for him. Good at bats don't always mean that you have to wind up on base. If you make the pitcher throw extra pitches, that's a good at bat. If you hit the ball crisply but right at somebody, that's a good at bat. And there's a good at bat as he winds up getting the walk. Bases loaded, nobody out.
How about a Grove pitcher, number 25, Boyd Clemens.
Clemens has hit it to the shortstop twice. Once into a double play and once just for the standard out. First pitch is high and inside. Moon's struggling here just a little bit. Nobody in the Bobcat bullpen. Now they're getting to work. Keaton Malden, the left-hander. And that hit him. So another, and here comes Andy Davis again. Bases still loaded. Nobody out. Andy Davis may ask for an appeal on whether he leaned into this pitch or not. Honestly, I don't think he did. But if nothing else, what Andy Davis is doing is getting Keaton Malden some time to warm up in the bullpen. This is exactly what Andy Davis wants, even if he loses the argument. It is giving Malden more time to loosen in the bullpen when Moon, although throwing hard, has not been really hammering the strike zone all that well. So the bases are loaded. Oak Grove has pulled it to a 5-3 deficit. They've got the bases loaded with no outs here in the fifth inning. Sumrall getting ready to play Richland. The Warriors will play Northwest Rankin. Boy, Northwest Rankin for a first-round draw.
Warriors designated hitter, number 35, Maddox Miller.
Here's Maddox Miller, the DH, with the bases loaded. Moon, the pitch. Low, ball one. You can bet that Miller is going to be on the take until he gets a strike. Because Moon has struggled. That's there. So now all bets are off. It'll be Moon against Miller. Runners have to go on a ground ball. That's outside, 2-1. Three walks given up by the Sumrall pitchers in this inning. The 2-1 pitch. High, 3-1. Ball gets by the catcher. But really, on a 3-1 count, there's no need in sending the runner to risk it. Because one more pitch out of the zone, and it would be another Oak Grove run. Still no outs in the bottom of the fifth. The 3-1 pitch. There's strike two. And when you're struggling to find the strike zone, there's really no need to even throw breaking balls or off-speed pitches. You just got to get the ball over the plate. 3-2 pitch swung on to third. Touches third, goes to second, and off the bag! And a throw into right field. The run will score. And just one out on the play. Hawkins was trying to ring up two via the force out, and Andy Davis signaling to Hawkins that he should have gone home. on the force out to cut down the run. So it's a 5-4 game. Wheat is rung up at third for the first out. Clements advances to second, and Miller at first on the fielder's choice. 5-4 game. Really, the Bobcats uncharacteristically making defensive plays, but not necessarily good mental plays. Baudouin missed a play throwing it to home earlier in the game, and Hawkins' play there was to the plate. He had time to make the throw to get the force at home, but elected to try the double play by stepping on third. The 1-0 pitch. Is that a strike? No, ball two. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Boy, Carson Moon, if nothing else, working quickly. No, 1 and 2 is the count. There we go. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to third. Hawkins stopped it. He's got a force at third. Nice play by Landon Hawkins. Got the jersey dirty and stopped the ball and got the force out. So Clements is out.
Center fielder, number 11, Sawyer Spites.
Another fielder's choice, and here comes Spites now with runners on first and second and 2 outs. Spites might be lifted here. Or a runner might be coming into the ball game for the lead man over there, who is Miller.
Number 12, John Brent Weathers.
So Weathers will run for Miller. Here's Spites. He has reached on an error and grounded to short. Bottom of the 5th inning. Oak Grove has put 3 across to get within 1 of Sumrall. But to be fair, most of them have been gifts via the walk. That's part of the game, but runners will be going on contact now with 2 away. As we mentioned, Spites, the 8th hitter to the plate for the Grovers in this inning. First pitch outside, ball 1. Carson Moon on in relief of Dr. Jack Miller, but Keaton Malden continues to warm in the Sumrall bullpen. The 1-0. High, 2-0. Runners don't have such an advantage being 2 outs when you're a base runner. You don't have to worry about a line drive. Just take off when that ball's hit. There's a strike. 2-1. Spites knew it. Actually, we said that he reached on an error and grounded to short. That was ruled then a hit. That's fouled into the screen. So he's actually 1 for 2 with a base hit and a ground out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sawyer Spites. Two and 2. Big couple of pitches coming up here for Moon. The 2-2. That ball is a fair ball. Throws to first, and it's dropped by Odom. originally was foul and spun back into fair territory. Davis is arguing that it was touched foul before it rolled fair. But as a defender for the Bobcats, you have to play it like it's live. And the throw was right at the runner, and Odom did not have a good view of it. And it was in and out of his glove. So the umpires are discussing this. Usually a ball will start fair and you'll let it run foul. But this one, whether it was touched or not in foul territory is what they're discussing, but it clearly took a turn to fair territory when it was picked up. Now again, where it was picked up and where it was touched are two different stories perhaps. Because it's where it's initially touched. Both coaches are there. No run came across for Oak Grove, but it did load the bases. And would bring Maddox up to bat. Maddox is up there expecting to get an AB. And it looks like I would think that this is going to go against Sumrall. It would be a good time to have replay, would it not? Yeah, Andy Davis, you can tell by his dejection that this is going against Sumrall.
Third baseman number 9, A.J. Maddox.
So here's Maddox now, the 9th player. To come to the plate, and the bases full of Warriors. This has been a wild 5th inning. Maddox has a single and a flyout tonight. He also has an RBI. The first pitch to him. Swung on it, ripped to left field, base hit. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. A 2-out base knock for Maddox, and the Warriors have grabbed the lead.
Pinch hitting for Oak Grove, number 22, Evan Brewer.
So Brewer coming in to bat for Lewis. Five runs for Oak Grove here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Credit Maddox, he was sitting fastball. He got it and ripped it into left field. So as we reset the table for you, Maddox at first, Spites at second with 2 away. Sumrall trailing for the first time tonight. Oh, I take that back. Oak Grove scored a run in the 2nd to lead 1-0, but there's a strike. So runners will be going on contact, looking ahead to the Sumrall 6th. It'll be Odom, McNair, and Hicks. A lot of walks in this inning. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. Keaton Malden looking back to the Sumrall dugout as if to say he's ready to go if called upon. So Jack Miller now will get no decision. Starting pitcher for Sumrall will not be in the decision. That ball gets away from Brewer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Should Brewer reach, then Dwight Temple would come to bat. The 1-2 pitch from Moon. Breaking ball, strike 3. Got him on strikes. And it's over. 5 runs on 2 hits. There are 2 men left on base. We've completed 5 here in Oak Grove. The Oak Grove Warriors 6, the Sumrall Bobcats 5. Back with the top of the 6th in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat baseball. Jackson Hayden on in relief of Gage Thompson. So he's now working a save situation. Now Thompson could be the winning pitcher. Odom has popped to second base and struck out. He's 0 for 1. Let's see how he fares against the left-hander. First pitch, slow roller toward third. Coming in, throwing to first base, not in. Now wait a minute. Now the first base umpire is sending the runner back to the plate. Was that off of his foot, perhaps? And then into fair territory, so a dead ball. Odom will go back to the plate. So Gage Thompson now goes to third base. And he'll come in shallow. And it's a foul ball strike to Odom. So now time is called. Jackson Hayden on the hill, and now he's going to walk around. Now he gets back to the pitching rubber, gets the sign, and here's the 0-1 pitch. Up just a little bit high. 1-1 to Odom. Again, one of the things that the Bobcats have done well tonight is getting their leadoff men aboard. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Low, 2-1. And with the Bobcats trailing now, 6-5, after a forgettable 5th inning, they need base runners. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leo Odom. The 6th man in the batting order, Malik McNair on deck, the Sumrall left fielder, who has had a good night tonight. Now time again. Boy, Hayden working almost like a funeral. Taking forever in between pitches. Now he's ready. Here's the breaking ball, fouled into the screen again. Hayden had been warming last inning and was ready to go if Thompson would have gotten into trouble. But he gets the call here now. And again, the last regular season game for both of these teams before they begin their playoff journeys next week. The 2-2 pitch coming. Breaking ball outside, 3-2. And then after the playoffs get going, pretty soon we're going to be talking about graduations for the seniors. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fought off to the right side. Count stays 3-2 to Leo Odom. This is a big at bat for the Bobcats. Again, Odom 0 for 2 tonight. Going into this game, though, he had been on a torrid pace. The payoff pitch, high, ball 4. So the Bobcats have their leadoff man aboard.
Next batter, left fielder, Malik McNair.
And here's McNair, who has grounded to third, singled and scored.
Next runner, number 5, Caden Williamson.
Williamson running at first, but McNair would be a prime bunt candidate because he's a guy that can beat out a bunt if it's placed well, and you have a left-handed pitcher who has to make a complete turn in order to throw to first base. But they are not showing bunt here, and he takes ball 1. Tougher to steal on a left-handed pitcher over at first because that pitcher can look you right square in the eye, as he's doing right now. To the plate, high and outside. 2-0 to McNair. Tyson Hicks is on deck, but I wonder if a move would be made because Hicks is a left-handed hitter against the left-hander Hayden. To the plate, high again, 3-0 to McNair. Oak Grove has the bullpen busy again. A game that was going along at a brisk pace has slowed to a snail's pace. Second consecutive walk.
Second baseman, number 1, Tyson Hicks.
Now do you bunt Hicks here to put 2 men in scoring position? Hicks hitting 8th in the order. And then Baudouin. Baudouin is a right-handed hitter and hits for power. Andy Davis going through the series of signals. Baseball Strategy 101 calls for a bunt right here. Hayden off of the pitching rubber till Oak Grove's defense gets where it's supposed to be. Now Hayden to the pitching rubber against Hicks. Hicks is showing bunt. It's low, ball 1. Brewer on the charge from first. Thompson is at third. Hicks again showing bunt. The pitch. Strike. If Hicks was gonna bunt, that was the one to lay down. So we'll see if it was a decoy or if he just missed on the decision. Showing bunt again. The 1-1 pitch. There it is. Down the third base side. Throw over to first. It's an errant throw. 1 run scores. McNair will score easily. Hicks going to third. It's another bad throw. Tyson Hicks goes all the way around on a bunt. How about that? Two errors on the play for the Warriors. That makes 4 on the night. Unbelievable. A routine bunt play to move the runners to second and third, which, as we talked about, baseball strategy 101, that's exactly what you should have done. But the Warriors are cooking their own goose with their inability tonight to secure the baseball. The first was an E5, then an E3. 3 runs score on the play. So here's Baudouin. He has put down a sacrifice bunt and singled with an RBI. I don't think I have seen that in a long, long time. And here's Baudouin hitting 9th in the order. So the Bobcats have regained the lead. Here in the top of the 6th, nobody out. First pitch shot down third. That's in the corner. This will be at least 2. Baudouin rounding first on his way to second. He's there with a stand-up double. Chris McCardle coming out of the dugout. And this might be it for Hayden, as the Bobcats go back to the top of the order. That is it for Hayden. A pitching change for the Warriors. We'll report back to you in a moment. The Bobcats have regained the lead and looking for more. Back in a moment. Reese Littlejohn is the new pitcher for Oak Grove, as Baudouin just knocked a double into the corner. 8-6 Sumrall. Littlejohn will come on to face the top of the order. Brazil, Holloman, and Long in the top of the 6th inning. The Warriors scored 5 runs in their half of the 5th, but they were the recipient of 3 walks and a hit batsman. So Baudouin at second base. Brazil has walked, singled with an RBI, and lined softly to second. He is 1 for 2 officially with a walk. No outs here in the 6th. There's a bunt. Littlejohn has to make the play. Throw to first, off the bag again. But part of that was the speed of Brazil. Moving to third was Baudouin.
Shortstop number 7, Landon Holloman.
Here's Holloman now. Holloman, the gifted shortstop. I think when you look back at Sumrall teams over the years, you know, Chase Llewellyn was a terrific shortstop. Jay Hawkins, who's Landon's uncle, also is a great defender, but Holloman is right up there with him, if not better. First pitch to him is outside, ball 1. And what's underestimated many times too is the athleticism of Holloman. Throw to first. 5 errors for the Warriors. The Bobcats have been putting the ball in play. Now Holloman shows bunt. Let's go. The throw to second is off the glove. So Brazil is now at second. He'll follow the lead runner with whatever the lead runner does. Remember, there's still no outs here in the top of the 6th. And Reese Littlejohn working into the heart of the Sumrall batting order. Eight, 6 Bobcats. Littlejohn from the full wind. Swung on. There's a base hit into left field. Holloman delivers again. That scores another run.
Catcher number 34, Walker Long.
And another RBI for Holloman. Walker Long is one of the few guys that has not joined the hit parade tonight. He has popped to first, flown to center. He does have an RBI sacrifice fly. Runners at the corners. Runner going, throw to second base, and the runner is out. Holloman is out for the first out of the inning. Runner at third with 1 out. Now Oak Grove brings the infield in to perhaps cut down a run at the plate. First pitch popped up by Walker Long. This will be a tough play. 3 people converging on it. It is caught by the shortstop, tagging at third and coming home. Or was it dropped by the shortstop? Was that ball caught? Couldn't have been caught. It dropped between the 3, so another run in.
Emergency runner number 22, Harrison. Now batting number 45, Connor Walker.
So Harrison running for Walker Long on a play that normally is an out. That was, I mean, plenty of people had time to get under that ball. Play just not made. So a rather uncharacteristic double swing and a miss. By Walker Long. It's 10-6 now as Sumrall has answered the 5 that Oak Grove put up bottom of last inning. Littlejohn's pitch, swing and a miss to Connor Walker. He has walked, reached on an error, and struck out. No balls and 2 strikes to the Sumrall designated hitter. inside. 1-2 to Walker. Landon Hawkins on deck. Both teams have more runs than they do hits. That's because of the walks awarded tonight. 1-2 pitch. He struck him out on a bender. So Connor Walker out again on strikes.
Number 16, Landon Hawkins.
So here's Hawkins. He's the 9th man to the plate here in this inning. Harrison will be going on contact now with 2 outs in the 6th. First pitch to Hawkins is a curveball strike. Littlejohn, the 3rd pitcher for Oak Grove. Gage Thompson started, then he was relieved by Jackson Hayden, and now Reese Littlejohn. The 0-1, low. 1-1. There's a strike on the fastball. Hawkins looking for off speed. Got the heater there, and he's behind in the count. 1-2. Hawkins trying to put the bat on the ball here. The 1-2 pitch. Little golf shot down the right field line, but that will curve foul. Harrison will rewind and get back to second base, and Hawkins will try it again, behind in the count 1-2. Again, this game was cruising along earlier. In the last inning or so, I've seen glaciers move faster. The 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2 now to Hawkins. Leo Odom is on deck hoping to get another bat in this inning. Deuce is wild, Brody. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Outside. 3-2. Landon Hawkins hitting 5th in the order. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled out of play again. Lando, the Sumrall third baseman. Harrison, although not forced, would be moving with 2 outs. Breaking ball outside, ball 4. So Hawkins gets a 2-out walk. So runners at first and second. And here's Odom, who started this whole thing with a walk. His second at bat of the inning. First pitch is a strike, just reared back and let it rip on the outside corner. Odom check swing, got a piece of it, and it'll go foul over here by the James Bryce McMahon Fieldhouse over here to our right. Odom has popped to second, struck out, walked, and scored. So he's officially 0 for 2 and would like to get on the 1 ledger here. Swung on, high pop-up. Right field coming in and making the catch. In right field is Temple. And the Bobcats pick up 5 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors, 2 men. left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning when we return in a moment. Looks like Carson Moon back on the hill now. This time he's got a 4-run lead to work with. And we'll have the Oak Grove bottom of the 6th in just a moment. As we mentioned, Carson Moon back out there. And he faces hitters 9, 1, and 2 for Oak Grove. Temple, Thompson, and Wheat, as we mentioned, 9, 1, and 2 to face Moon here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch is high, ball 1. Remember that Keaton Malden had been warming for Sumrall, but now the Sumrall bullpen is vacant. The 1-0 pitch. Moon working quickly, but falls behind in the count, 2-0. Jack Miller had found success early in the game by getting ahead of almost every hitter with a first pitch strike. That's in there. But Moon has fallen behind a lot of the hitters, which has been problematic and helped Oak Grove score 5 last inning. The 2-1 pitch. High again. 3-1. We'll have all the playoff action for you up until state, and that's when MHSAA takes over. 3-1 pitch, there's a strike. Count goes full at 3-2. Game 1 of the best of 3 game series against the Richland Rangers comes your way Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. The 3-2 pitch, he struck him out. And Temple knew it. 1 away, and they go back to the top of the order. And Gage Thompson.
Number 10, Gage Thompson.
Thompson has grounded to third, struck out, walked, and scored. So he's officially 0 for 2. Brazil playing him a little bit the other way. But there you see that first pitch that Moon just has not been getting over like Miller did. That first pitch is so important, the 1-0 pitch. That's a strike. Because then, as we mentioned, it gives the hitters only 2 more shots at it. And the pitcher a little bit of leeway. But it looks like Moon now is just rearing back and throwing pills in there. The heater. Ahead now in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball, swing and a miss. Thompson down on 3 pitches, and Moon in a groove now. He is.
Number 26, Eli Wheat.
He has struck out 3 men in a row. And here's Wheat, who has walked twice and struck out. Strike. Oak Grove batting in the bottom of the 6th inning, bases empty, 2 outs. That's high and tight. Not like the high and tight gentlemen's club, right? The 1-1 pitch swung on, grounded to short. Holloman tried to get to his left. And that's unlike him. He'd normally come up with that play. But it's
Next batter, catcher, number 25,
So Wheat is aboard with 2 outs. And here's Clemens. First pitch for Moon. High and inside. Moon now has been consistently working the inner half of the dish. Bottom part of the Sumrall order coming up in the top of the seventh. 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled out of play. From all my years here at Oak Grove, I know where to park my car. Now, it might take a little bit longer for me to get to the ballpark, but I'm way back over by the football field house to where no baseball is going to get my car. Runner going. 1-1 pitch is outside. No throw as Wheat waltzes into second base. And it's a 2-1 count to Clemens. Swung on. There's a little looper into left in front of McNair. That drops. This will score another run, making it a 10-7 ball game. A 2-out single for Clemens.
Next batter for Oak Grove, designated hitter, number 35, Maddox Miller.
And an RBI. So here's Maddox Miller with 2 away. Strike on the outside corner.
24, Jordan Millsap.
Miller has grounded to first, flown to left, and reached on a fielder's choice. He was then lifted for a courtesy runner at second. But that runner wound up coming around to score. 1-1 to Miller. Warriors have a man on at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Sumrall leading this one 10-7. Swung on, chopper wide of first base. Makes it 1-2. Carson Moon on in relief of Dr. Jack Miller. Outfield for Sumrall tonight hasn't been real busy other than fielding ground balls. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, another sweep wide of first base, almost into the Oak Grove dugout. Chris McCardle assisted by, among other people, Larry Ainsworth, who has been a principal at Oak Grove for many years. J.J. Lang. Wade Wilkes has been on that staff for a while. And now, as I mentioned, Shane Kelly, former head coach at Petal. 1-2 the count to Maddox Miller. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th for Oak Grove. Swung on, slow roller to first. Easy play by Odom. It was a fair ball, and Miller is retired. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We've completed 6.
Sumrall 10, Oak Grove 7.
There you heard Lee Roberts, the PA announcer, say it. 10-7. Pitching change for Oak Grove. We'll have it for you when we come back in a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. So A.J. Maddox will come on to try to dispose of the Bobcats in the top of the 7th. Malik McNair, Tyson Hicks, and Hampton Baudouin are the scheduled hitters. Maddox started the game at third base, but now in there to pitch. And the man who started on the mound tonight, Gage Thompson, is over at third. So McNair will start it out.
Now for Sumrall, the top of the 7th inning. Number 6, Malik McNair.
McNair has grounded to third, singled and scored, walked and scored. First pitch from Maddox to McNair is right there for a strike. That first pitch focus, we've kind of beat that to death tonight, but very important. Get ahead in the count. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Now with McNair in an 0-2 deficit, Maddox can force the batter to hit his pitch rather than rail a fastball in there that the hitter can just feast on. The 0-2. And there's the breaking ball. Struck him out. One away. And this will be Cade Clinton.
Pinch hitting for Sumrall, number 2, Cade Clinton.
Clinton hitting for Hicks. Clinton has played a number of outfield positions, has also caught. Ten to 7, Sumrall Bobcats batting in the top of the 7th. This is the last regular season game for both teams. The 1-0 pitch. High, 2-0. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with heat there. And Clinton about air conditioned this place with that rip. 2-1. Clinton still ahead in the count with Baudouin on deck. Baudouin's got 2 hits tonight. Fastball strike on the corner. The 2-2 windup. Just was able to make contact with that one and put it foul out in front of the Sumrall dugout. 2-2 to Cade Clinton. This is the 8th spot in the order. Base is empty, 1 out. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, grounder towards short. Backhand throw to first is in time. Nice play by Wheat.
Number 12, Hampton Baudouin.
2 up and 2 down for the Bobcats, and here's Baudouin. A bunt, a single, a double, and a run scored. Warriors playing Baudouin pretty much straight away here. That's low. Should Baudouin reach, then Brazil would come up for the 5th time tonight. The 1-0 pitch. That gets out of the catcher's mitt. 2-0 now to Baudouin. You know, rarely will you see a man in the 9-hole like Baudouin be able to hit for power and run like he runs. Outside, 3-0. So he'll be on the take here, no doubt. And he takes ball 4. So Baudouin has been on all 4 times. And here's Brazil. Brazil has a couple of singles tonight, a couple of runs scored, an RBI. Sprinkled in there is a walk. So he's been busy. First pitch is high, ball one. A.J. Maddox, the fourth pitcher tonight, used by Coach Chris McCardle. The 1-0 that bounces past the catcher, and Baudouin down to second base. Two and 0 to Brazil. We've talked about how he leads the team in walks. He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Make that 3-0. Holloman on deck. He's had him a night. At the plate especially. Holloman's got a couple singles, a couple of runs scored, an RBI. And normally you rely on him to play great defense, which he does. Throw to third. Runner beats the throw. And Brazil is on first with another walk. So here's Holloman now. And that runner going to third, that should have never happened. But the Warriors, honestly, just looking a little lackadaisical here in the seventh. 1-0 pitch is low, ball one. And Maddox, who struck out his first hitter in McNair and then got Hicks to ground out, has not had much success finding the strike zone since then. There's one. Holloman just had the bat on the shoulder. 1-1 the count. Sumrall batting in the seventh, looking to record its 21st win of the year. The 1-1 swung on. There's a shot down the line. That is foul. Just wide of the bag. Holloman hit it down that area before. And it was Booth that couldn't come up with it. It hit the top of his glove and then skipped past him, and Holloman wound up at third. And scoring some runs. Sumrall batting in the seventh, looking to extend a 10-7 lead over Lamar County rival Oak Grove. We mentioned Lumberton has made the playoffs. Purvis is in the playoffs. Oak Grove is in postseason play, and so too are the Bobcats. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip. And Brazil wasn't told necessarily that it was a foul ball, and I think he was hanging around at second to see if anybody would eventually send him back. 1-2 to Holloman. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball. He got him. Breaking ball strike. And that ends the inning.
No runs, no hits, no errors. There were 2 runners.
2 men left for Sumrall, and Carson Moon comes out to try to finish it up. We'll have the bottom of the 7th for you in just a moment. This is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Moon over Lamar County. It sounds like a Tony Bennett song, doesn't it? Who is Tony Bennett, you say? you'll have to Google that.
Warriors in the bottom of the seventh inning. Left fielder number 44, DJ Booth.
So here's Booth. He has walked, popped a second, reached on a fielder's choice, and he scored a couple of runs. To face Carson Moon. First pitch is a strike right down the middle. Both teams will get the weekend off to try to get everybody rested, get everybody healthy so they can hit the playoff trail. Swung on, here's a chopper toward first. Fielded by Odom. He'll flip to the pitcher for out number 1. Good play by Moon. It goes as 3-1 on the putout. And here's Sawyer Spites.
Center fielder number 11, Sawyer Spites.
Spites has a 1-for-3 night. Brazil playing him to pull a little bit in center field. First pitch is inside, ball 1. Maddox is on deck. Fouled out of play. Tony Hessian has checked in on our text line, 601-310-7077. The 1-1 pitch from Moon. Inside. 2-1. Sumrall scored 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 5 in the sixth. 2-1 pitch is inside, 3-1. Warriors looking for base runners, and they've got one. A 1-out walk to Spites.
Next batter for the Warriors, pitcher number 9, A.J. Maddox.
And here's Maddox. Maddox hitting 7th in the order. Moon checks the runner and comes to the plate. First pitch, off-speed pitch that misses low. Last chance here for the Warriors in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch. Low again. 2-0. So again, Maddox can be sitting fastball here. That's what he's going to get. There it is, and a chopper to third. Hawkins has got it. Only play is at first. And the ball gets under Odom's glove. Runners advance to second and third. Throwing error by Hawkins. Advancing all the way to second on the play is Maddox.
Now batting for Oak Grove, first baseman number 22, Evan Brewer.
And here's Brewer. He struck out looking his first time, his only other at bat. But he represents the tying run at the plate. First pitch is high, ball 1. We've seen no sign of Keaton Malden since a couple of innings ago. So it looks like this is Moon's to win or to lose, and that would exactly be the case. Low, 2-0. You don't want to put the tying run at first base. That's strike 1. But there was no way that Brewer was going to be swinging on 2-0, but now he's got the green light. The 2-1 offering. That's high, 3-1. This game started at 7:10, and we're nearing the 3-hour mark. The 3-1 pitch. There's a strike. The count fills at 3-2. Big pitch coming up here for Carson Moon. The 3-2 payoff. Ball 4. And here comes Andy Davis. The bases are loaded with 1 out. It looked like Moon might cruise in the 7th. And here comes Keaton Malden. Back with the dramatic finale of this game, one way or the other. In a moment, this is the home of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. So it's up to Keaton Malden to try to beat the Oak Grove Warriors, a team that his dad is all too familiar with because his dad is the main trainer here at Oak Grove High School. Many of the Sumrall folks know that.
Now batting for the Warriors, right fielder number 13, DJ Temple.
And Temple is up to bat now. He represents the winning run with 1 out. He's the 9th man in the order. He has a single and a double tonight. First pitch is low, ball 1. And Keaton Malden, known for his pinpoint accuracy, not an overpowering pitcher. He has to trust his defense. That's low again. 2-0. You would think that he would be on the take here, particularly batting in the 9-hole. Keaton Malden, one of the few seniors on this Sumrall team, battle tested, crafty left-hander. And now time at the plate. Gage Thompson is on deck. And that tying run for the Warriors at first base. There is 1 out. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play to the right side. Looked like he was trying to take it to right field. Baudouin patrolling out there. Brazil is shaded toward right. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on again. And fouled into the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Malden has worked himself back into this count. Spites at third, Maddox at second. And the runner for Brewer at first with 1 out. And a 2-2 count to Temple. The 2-2 pitch. Just missed off the plate. 3-2. The last thing you want to do, you want a team to earn whatever it gets. The 3-2 pitch swung on, and this one is fouled out of play. So again, regardless of what happens, Temple has had a good at bat here. No place to put him. So the pressure on Malden to make sure that every pitch that's delivered is a strike. But the hitter knows that as well. The 3-2 pitch swung on. Here's a drive to right field. Baudouin measuring it in right. He sizes it up, makes the catch. Here comes the throw. They'll cut it and give them the run, which makes it 10-8. So it's a sac fly for Temple. But Malden, who fell behind 2-0, got the sacrifice fly. Runners at first and second, and here's Gage Thompson in a 10-8 ball game. So runners will be going on contact. If Thompson can find a gap, the Warriors would have a shot, but the Bobcats trying to shut it down here. There's a strike by the control specialist, Keaton Malden. Malden just does not walk people. Trusts his defense. He's not going to blow it past you, but he's going to be around that strike zone. 0-1 pitch. This is a pop-up. Foul territory. It's Odom. He's there, and that's the ball game. Keaton Malden has done the job. The Bobcats win it by a score of 10-8 and finish the regular season 21-5. They'll begin the playoff trail next Tuesday night at home against the Richland Rangers. Reminder again that gate prices are $7 for the playoffs. Thanks to Diversified Forestry Management, Real South Hunting, American Graphics, Watts Brothers Implements, Kids Campus Learning Center, Landry Lewis Germany Architects, Spencer Nixon Alpha Insurance, Windburn Lawn and Landscaping, Parkwright Striping and Seal Coating, and High and Tight Gentlemen's Club for their sponsorship of the Sumrall Bobcats on our YouTube channel. For producer-engineer Brody Courtney, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. The Bobcats head to the playoffs beginning on Tuesday night, and we'll have every pitch for you. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball on the Sumrall Bobcat YouTube channel.